Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Davos. Good morning from the USA House. Good morning to everyone watching on the live stream. My name is Cody Carbone. I am the CEO of the Digital Chamber. We are the largest digital asset and blockchain trade association in the United States, representing over 250 companies with the White House, with Congress in pursuit of a safe, consistent regulatory framework for this new technology. One of our illustrious members is Bitdeer, and I'm honored to be here today with Jihan Wu, CEO of Bitdeer. Jihan doesn't really need an introduction. He has been in this space for years, the first to ever to translate the Bitcoin white paper in Chinese. Bitdeer, which we'll talk about in just a second, just last week became the largest Bitcoin miner in the entire world. So it is a great time to be here with you, Jihan. If you could please just give the crowd a little introduction about yourself and Bitdeer.
Cody, thank you very much. Bitdeer is a vertical integrated infrastructure platform that mine Bitcoin and also provide AI DC service. Right now, we design the chips at the very advanced node, 3 nanometers, and we're also manufacturing the mining machines, and we own 3 gigawatts of power NANDs worldwide, and 2/3 of it is inside the United States. And right now, we manage more than 70 exahash of Bitcoin hash rate, and right now it's the largest Bitcoin miners listed in the world.
Well, congratulations. You just mentioned you're doing a lot in this space, and you guys have evolved significantly over the last few years. Do you still see Bitdeer primarily as a Bitcoin mining company, or is it a broader compute and energy infrastructure company at this point?
Yeah, definitely we are going to be an infrastructure company from now on. But very importantly, we want to say that we are going to do Bitcoin mining. We love Bitcoin mining, and Bitcoin mining is very important. And we can do it the best in the world, we believe. So it's very important that we will continue to do this. Bitcoin right now is, I believe, is kind of a cornerstone assets in the whole digital asset space. Bitcoin worth is about $2 trillion, and the whole digital assets was roughly $3 trillion. That's 2/3 of it. And Bitcoin right now is on the balance sheets of lots of countries, nations. And mine Bitcoin and maintain the network, make it secure. I think that's very important. And mining Bitcoin also pays off the infrastructure capex very easily. And right now, people are looking for power everywhere in the US. And I know that lots of Bitcoin miners are trying to convert all the Bitcoin mining operations into AIDC. But I think in the long term, doing both is very important because AIDC requires huge capex, and those power infrastructures requires capex as well. But mining Bitcoin can very easily to pay those capex back within the first 2 or 3 years. With the Bitcoin mining's help, we can very easily to expand tens of gigawatts of power within the next 8 or 10 years in US. And such kind of infrastructure will be able to use in other use cases like AIDC.
So Bitdeer is headquartered in Singapore.
Yes.
You mentioned you have made major investments in the United States. It's been incredible to see what you've done in Ohio, in Arizona. We're in the USA House right now.
Yeah.
Why the US? Why now? Why such an investment in the country?
Yeah, if you look around the world, I think US is very unique. That overall, if you consider several factors together, rule of law, so heavy investment, capex can be protected, and the density, quality, and the diversity of natural resources and power. US is the one of the toughest, highest in the world, and capable people, very nice people that you can trust to have them do all the complicated work, building up things and maintaining their things and doing their jobs. US is also one of the best. And of course, the support for Bitcoin, digital assets, Bitcoin mining, that's also very important. Lots of countries have power, have natural resources. They can do this, but the political leadership still got some concerns. I think that's wrong concerns over Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. They believe it's a waste. I think that's totally wrong. USA, again, take the leadership here, understand that it's very important to develop the Bitcoin mining industry, and it's very good for its own country's people and the next cycle of artificial intelligence industrialization.
And that support for Bitcoin has really transformed and evolved over the last year, corresponding, at least at the federal level, with the new administration. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about energy.
Yeah.
Energy used to be about fuel and generation, and now it's more about flexibility, speed to power, location. How is the relationship between compute and energy fundamentally changing?
Yeah, I think it changed a lot. We came here. We came to the United States 8 years ago since the first Trump administration, and the second Trump administration gave us even more confidence, invest more into the United States. What we experience is that the U.S. likes of the investment into infrastructure for quite a long time. We went to Texas, and the landlord pointed us to the almost eroded substations, said that if you want to do things, just you need to buy new equipment. We said, okay, we just buy new equipment. And that's how we started in Texas 7 years ago. We started from like tens of megawatts, and right now we own roughly 2 gigawatts of power plants in US, and more than half of it is already running with Bitcoin mining. In the past, the power requirements for computation was relatively small. So lots of tech companies got the luxury to talk about the climate change, net zero, and but when AI revolution came, they understood that okay, the lack of power, they don't have enough power generations, and they really need a more traditional ways of generation to generate the power. In the past, they are very reluctant to sign any contract or deals with the power generations or the grid. But right now, they are much more willing to provide a very long-term contract to power generations. I think the demand and supply situation shifted a lot. I think that's at the very fundamental level. And at the same time, computation and power also is going to help each other because the computation right now is still very high value added. So they can afford very high cost of capex and to build things very fast. I think this kind of infrastructure expansion will benefit other sector of the whole economy a lot. There will be lots of more demand of our power in the U.S. in the coming decades of reindustrialization of U.S. They will need more powers, and the computation industry will help the power generation industry to build more, so that other industries will also benefit from this. And right now, the big tech companies can build all those power generations by themselves. For example, they can build up like 1 gigawatts of power generations by within 1 year. I think some other smaller manufacturing or other small factories with $100 million capex. They just cannot do this. They still rely on the grid. However, all this infrastructure and the professionals trained through the whole building process will benefit other industries as well.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching who are fascinated by the energy markets.
Yeah.
And you talked about how this is going to impact not just energy and the grid, but the economy. If you could double down on that, and how will this impact energy markets, this new evolution into compute?
Well, energy supply sector, I think, is full of competition because there are lots of ways to generate the power. You can use natural resource, you can do SMR, the more traditional nuclear power, and there are also clean tech, clean energy like solar, wind, and the batteries, of course, and there are different kinds of battery technologies. Actually, the competition is quite strong. I think itself, this kind of strong competition, so diverse ways of generation power, kind of stopped it, develop very quick because everyone is kind of afraid of, oh, what if I do the infrastructure investment right now and don't have enough demand for the next decade and my investment may suffering loss. But with this kind of strong competition demand, everyone will have a much more confidence and they will have more order, more revenue, more profit to support the expansion of the capacity and to invest more into the R&D to improve the technologies and to build up more manufacturing capacities inside the United States.
Setup is quick, and your inbox is protected with built-in security. And if you ever need help, we're just a call away. Start building your brand, one email at a time.
Why do so many people trust iHerb for their health and wellness products? Simple. We guarantee freshness. Buy direct from manufacturers and ship fast to your doorstep. So, fitness fanatics, stretchaholics, immunity boosters, weight shedders, light sleepers, dog mommies, mommy mommies, even the good doctor here. They all trust iHerb to deliver the freshest, high-quality health and wellness products on Earth. iHerb's curated selection of products are quality tested, stored in climate-controlled facilities, and shipped fresh. Seems pretty obvious, but it's just one of the many ways we make wellness better. iHerb.
Every major industrial cycle in the history of the world, but really in the history of the United States, has been driven by some foundational input. We talk a lot about compute, and I think people, as they look to the next industrial cycle or industrial revolution, they think compute is the driver. Do you agree with that? And what does that mean for competitiveness for the United States on the world stage?
Yes, absolutely right. I think if you look at how quick right now the artificial intelligence improving its capability, its smartness, it's astonishing. And I'm not sure about AGI, but I think the AI will be able to do lots of things much better than human and improve the efficiency. And we will see the production efficiency will improve very quickly in the next decade. And all this are based on computation, based on the GPUs, based on what have been invented a decade ago by NVIDIA. And right now it's widespread by lots of companies that are doing the computation right now. I still remember like 1 year ago when DeepSeek came, people said maybe the computation requirements will be shrank so much. But what it turned out is that the computation demand became so much more. Right now, developers are doing lots of agent development. What they're doing is not trying to, that's how to save the computation, save the power, but actually they are trying to achieve more effectiveness, more accurate results based on like 10x or 20x of the computation if they can just achieve better results. And recently, Meta acquired Manus, very smart move. Manus is very interesting because it did not build its own foundation model. They are building their products based on other foundation models. What they are doing is to use other foundation models to do more computation work, more expensive work, but the results is so much better. I'm a huge fan of Manus product. It's so much more expensive than using Gemini or than using OpenAI, but the results is so much better because they do more computation, more rounds of thinking and refining of the results, and the results is just more, so much better than others. So you can see that if you can do more computation, and there are always smart ways and good ways to use that kind of a computation power to achieve more. When we're training models right now, if you can do more computation in different data centers, the models are becoming much more smarter than before. And when you are using the model, if you can do more computation, the results is also much better. And the different developers and researchers, they will need the computation power to design the different ways of using the AI models, and they want to try new ideas, and maybe next paradigm shift will need such kind of a computation power to be able to deliver. So computation power definitely is it's just like the coal, it's like the oil of the previous industrial revolutions.
So both of us interface quite a bit with the administration. And this is nothing new for the United States, but this administration has really honed on when we talk about innovation and new technologies, U.S. leadership. The U.S. needs to lead on the world stage. Whether it's Bitcoin mining or it's compute, how should policymakers in the U.S. be thinking about these new issues? Are they national security issues? Are they economic issues? What do they need to be thinking about so that the U.S. does continue to show leadership on the world stage?
Yeah, I think right now U.S. can be quite confident on the leadership of foundational technology, like the semiconductor, the chip, and the whole tech stack leadership. I think that's a no-brainer. U.S. is leading it, but the U.S. will working more on the infrastructure, on be able to producing more in energy, in data center, in construction, and in manufacturing all those hardwares and semiconductors, and being able to manufacture more. I think that's very important for the U.S. to take the next leadership. But thanks for this administration's industrial policies. I think in the next 3 years, U.S. can achieve a lot. For example, Bitdeer already building up the Bitcoin mining machine manufacturing center in U.S. And it will be a very, very advanced assembly line in U.S. And we're going to expand it. And such kind of assembly line can also produce AI chip, AI server in the future. So we want to be a part of the great process in the next few years.
I'll be fascinated to watch how this plays out. I live in what they call Data Center Alley in Northern Virginia, and there are debates every single day about the construction of new data centers and whether that is positive for the U.S. and the community or if it's negative. And I think you can find overwhelmingly positive things and for U.S. leadership on this level to build more of those data centers. This next cycle, we've talked about this next industrial revolution and how compute really can be the foundational input for U.S. leadership, but it requires massive capital investment, as you're seeing, as you're putting it into, growing in your manufacturing facility in the United States. Do you think capital markets understand that right now and understand that there needs to be this massive investment?
Yeah, I think capital market understands about the requirements of such kind of massive capex. But a few weeks ago, or 1 or 2 months ago, the capital markets worried so much about the overinvestment. I think that's totally wrong. The investment is just not enough. We see lots of demand cannot be met, and the technology companies are competing against each other on delivering the better results on AI. And inside a company, the different R&D team are also competing for computational resources to try their new ideas to win the internal competitions as well. So it's definitely not enough. US is very unique. I think the computation built inside the United States is not only to support the demand from within the United States, but it's also supporting lots of other parts of the world computation demand as well. In the past, lots of the servers or the cloud needs to build very close to the user base. But right now, the AI itself requires lots of computation to deliver results. So the latency between different areas is become less important than before. So US got a kind of potential to concentrate all this kind of computation service inside the United States and to kind of export to other countries. So it will help the exportation of US a lot if we can have every sector of the United States society to work together to make up good industrial policies to make sure such kind of data center building up in US can be encouraged. I think that that's very important for US. If just because of some kind of laws or a temporary bill hiccup, I think that it will be highly short-sighted. The residents actually does not consume so much power. It can be subsidized in kind of ways to make them happy. I think that's very much required to make sure that this kind of data center constructions should not be stopped.
Jihan, we're running out of time. Is there any last message? You have such a unique vantage point where we are in the intersection of power, hardware, compute. Any last message to the people of Davos?
Yeah, Davos involves lots of countries in the world. I'm here to want to say that Bitcoin mining is not bad for countries. It's really good for you. It's a bootloader of the next industrial revolution because it encourages, it benefits the electricity, the power infrastructure build of the countries. And if you can let the Bitcoin mining prosper in your countries, your capex within the power generations will be paid off within coming years, and your country will be more prepared for the AI revolutions that are coming in the next few decades. I think that's very important, and you should learn from the US policies and to encourage Bitcoin mining in your countries as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, as of last week, the largest Bitcoin miner in the world. Give it up. And putting massive billions of dollars into the United States. Give it up for Jihan Wu and Bitdeer. Thank you all.